olfactory and taste senses. Right? So then in the olfactory, we have right here the nerves. As you know, the nerves will go into the nose. And when they continue right here, they will make a synapse right here in this area called the olfactory bulb. And from there, you will have the olfactory nerve going to your other areas in your brain. What happens in here that in the nose, we're going to have these receptors. And every single time we inhale, right, what we're going to get through the air is going to be odor particles. So when the odor particles go through here through your nose, and the odor particles are going to get trapped right here in the mucus that we have in our nose. When they get trapped in the mucus that we have in our nose, these odor particles are going to release the chemicals that they have inside, and the receptors that are these ones right here, they're going to be able to capture the information, the different chemicals that you have in there, and that's going to send information to your brain. And that's how we are going to be able to transfer information about odors, right, in order to transform that in the sense of a smell. Right here we have the tongue, right there in the tongue, we're going to have the receptors inside these structures called papillae. So the papillae are going to be found in the surface of our tongue like this. And inside the papillae, that's where we're going to find the taste buds. These are the papillae. And let's say if we magnify that in here, we can see this is the papillae, right there. And inside right here, that's where we're going to find the taste buds. These taste buds are going to help us to identify different flavors, such as, for example, salty, sweet, sour. Obviously, that's not the only job that these different papillae are going to have, right? You have to understand that there are other cells in there, like, for example, to identify not only flavor, but also texture, right? We can identify if something is very soft or something is very coarse or harsh to our tongue. So therefore, we can identify, right? We can, without even looking, we can see what's the difference between popcorn and banana, right? We don't even look at that. But if we put it in our mouth, we can tell which one was the banana, which one was the popcorn. But in addition to that, we're also going to have in here stem cells, right? Stem cells are going to be there in order to help us replace these taste buds that we have in this area, because a lot of times, as you know, we damage this area because we're going to burn our tongue, for example. That's what we have right there. If we go right here, we have general senses. These are going to be for cutaneous sensation, right? So then what type of cutaneous sensation we can have? Well, temperature, right, pain, right, touch, et cetera, et cetera. So therefore, we're going to have different type of receptors for this, right? So for example, you can have, these ones are going to be, for example, we have receptors which are going to be called free nerve endings, right? So these ones are going to be free nerves. These ones are going to be free nerves. And these ones are free nerves because they are not encapsulated. So these ones are going to be considered no capsule, right there. And this one also, since it's a free nerve, so this one is also not going to have a capsule. So this one is going to be no capsule as well. And some other ones that have capsules are going to be the ones that are going to help us with touch, for example, right? So capsule, for example, right? So in Meissner's, for example, they're going to have capsule and they're going to help us to identify touch. Now there's something in here, right, which is the error of location, right? Error of location is a test that is done to identify problems that people will have with sensation. What happens is that depending on the area of our skin that we are going to try to identify, we are going to have more or less receptors, right? And you can understand this, for example, you know, if you really think about it, where do we have lots and lots of receptors? For example, we're going to have receptors in our hands, right? If you think about your back, I mean, you have more receptors in your hand than your back. You can touch multiple things, identify what's going on with them by touching them with your hands.